Some players are in the spotlight more than others, just like world number 6, Brooks Koepka, trying to go back-to-back at this event. He has a title defense on his hands in Memphis, Tennessee at the WGC-FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Koepka entered that final round here last year, one stroke behind Rory McIlroy, but birdied 3 of his first 6 holes en route to a bogey-free 65 and a 3-shot win over Webb Simpson for his 7th career PGA Tour victory, hoisting that trophy. Well, plenty of stars. They will be walking in Memphis today. Newly minted world number 1 Jon Rahm will be alongside Bryson DeChambeau and Ricky Fowler. The aforementioned McIlroy and Simpson getting things going with Jordan Spieth. World number 3 Justin Thomas. He will have Jim Bones Mackay on the bag and will be grouped with Colin Morikawa and Hideki Matsuyama. And then your defending champ himself, Koepka, alongside Patrick Reed and Victor Hovland. Well, Koepka, he met with the media yesterday ahead of his title defense. Take a listen.
Brooks, has the knee injury kept you from full-out training, and has it limited your workability recently or for a long stretch on the range?
Yeah, it'll get sore if I beat balls long enough. And I've had some lengthy range sessions over the past 2 weeks where it's been 5+ hours. I'll come back, I'll ice it. Yeah, it limits what I can do. I can't. I don't know how to explain this well, but I can't run. I take these little steps and try to do it very quickly. That's kind of my run right now. Biking, I can do it like once a week without it really flaring up and getting too painful. I can't do much cardio, but it's definitely changed a lot of things for me, that's for sure.
And Brooks, after you were so dominant for so long, how frustrating has this stretch been for you?
Yeah, it's definitely been frustrating. It'll test you mentally. But at the same time, I'm looking at it as a challenge and something where I know it'll turn around eventually. It's going to turn around. You don't work that hard for nothing, and starting to see signs of it now. It's just about going out and going and doing it. And whether it be this week, next week, a month from now, 2 months from now, whatever it's going to be, it'll pay off.
Brooks, you've always been one of the more confident guys going into majors. With the recent struggles, do you still carry that mindset?
I'm defending, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
True to character with that last answer there from Brooks Koepka. I think you could say seemingly still confident despite 2 missed cuts in 5 starts since the restart of the PGA Tour. But Paige, starting with you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in Brooks's ability to not just defend this week at the WGC, but also following next week at TPC Harding Park? He's got the opportunity for the three-peat here at the PGA Championship. A massive 2 weeks for Brooks Koepka. Just how confident are you in his ability right now?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd put it at 5. For me, this is an argument of head versus heart. And my head is seeing how disjointed not only has his season been, but even since we've been back from the COVID pandemic and the return to golf, you had a great week. He had a great week at RBC. And then the following week, as he is so excited to tee it up again, his caddy came down with a positive test. He then withdrew. He had a different caddy on the bag for the next 2 weeks. He decided to add a memorial that wasn't originally in his schedule. There's just been a lot of changes and a lot of things going on, not even just the knee. So when you look at Brooks Koepka, there's a lot going on, but then my heart says, but this is Brooks Koepka, and he can get up for big moments, and he can turn it on like a light switch. So I'm a 50-50. I think he's got a chance to defend because he knows who he is. And I think that's where you got out of that last answer is he knows he's a winner. He knows he's a champion. He knows what he's capable of doing. But at the same time, there's been a lot going on around Brooks Koepka.
Paige, you nailed the number. The number is 5. And Brooks Koepka's of 2 minds right now. He knows that when he's at his best, he's able to work out as much as he wants to, hit balls as much as he wants to. And now he's not able to do that. So he's going into these big time tournaments knowing that he's less than 100%. So, but he's also saying, you know what, it's going to turn around eventually. This is a challenge. It will turn around. So it's been a disjointed season, Paige said. I also think he's a bit disjointed in his mind because he wants to carry this swagger as he so often does, but he also knows that he's not able to prepare and play the type of golf that he did when he was at the height of his power. So it's a bit of a search for Brooks Koepka right now. We know what he can do. He knows what he can do, but he also knows deep down he hasn't put in the reps because his body hasn't been able to allow him to do so to be the player that he wants to be.
Yeah, I think it's
This
a good
time
point,
last
David.
year,
There's natural limitations to what's going on. The fact that he says he's got to ice his knee after a tough range workout, and there's certain things that he cannot do, like run and ride a bike. There's psychological limitations to that, to know that you're not in form and you're competing against players that are. So you can tell yourself all you want that I'm still who I am, but there are some psychological limitations when you physically aren't able to do what you want to do.
this time last year, Brooks Koepka was king. He dominated Rory in the final grouping at this event. He had just won his 4th major championship not so long ago before this event. Now we're looking at someone who's grinding it out on the range and missing cuts. And also Brooks Koepka is someone who used to say that he didn't even really practice. He just used regular PGA Tour events to kind of work out where he was in the game. It just seems like right now life isn't so simple for Brooks Koepka off the course, Damon, and you feel like he's having to sort of change his entire approach to how he approaches this game inside the ropes for someone who used to be so dominant.
Yeah, I mean, we do know that when Brooks Koepka is injured, as he has been in the past, he does seem to find a second gear eventually. Maybe it's a mental edge, an appreciation for what is possibly in jeopardy, having the game potentially taken away from him. He has done this before, but this is an injury that seems to be lingering. He's trying to play and find form as he prepares for these big-time events, and now we're on the anniversary of all these title defenses at Memphis, at the PGA Championship, and he's trying to sound and be the player that he's always been, but he knows is not right. The knee is not allowing him to be the bulletproof swagger, unafraid to speak his mind, unafraid to take down Rory and tell him about it. He's just not able to have that foot to that pedal to the metal as he more often would in happier times.
Well, if there is anyone, as you mentioned earlier, Paige, who can get himself up for big weeks and big championships, it is Brooks Koepka, and that is exactly what we have got over the next fortnight in golf.